I'm Marilee Utter, President of City Venture Associates. City Venture Associates is a national consulting and development firm. We help both the public sector and the private sector do development strategy, primarily on infill, transit-oriented development, mixed-use kinds of projects. But we do other kinds of projects as well. But it's really development strategy to make things happen, focus on implementation. I've been a member since 1986, so I think about 25 years. Well, I've been a member of ULI through many jobs and many organizations that I've been involved in, and the benefits have been many. And they vary depending on the situation and where I've been in my career. I first joined when I went to work at the City of Denver running the real estate. I'd never worked in the public sector before, didn't really know much about asset management or public-private transactions, and didn't have anyone to talk to. And it was really the resource that ULI offered me through the publications, through the membership, through the education activities that I really looked to there to help me figure out that job and do a good job. Then later I became a developer, worked in other kinds of organizations, did other kinds of work, and at each stage, ULI was a professional resource for me. It was really just recently when I did more out consulting that meeting other people from a business development standpoint and networking became part of the package for me. It's always really been a lot about personal education and doing a better job and staying on the cutting edge of what's going on in the real estate industry. I've been involved with ULI in many different ways. Currently I'm a national trustee, which has involved lots of different committees and activities. I've served on the ULI National Awards of Excellence Committee, which was a terrific activity, best thing I ever did at ULI, I think. I've been the chairman of the Colorado District Council. I've served on, for my district council, I've done lots of different committees. I've done many technical advisory panels, national advisory panels. I've been involved in many programs that ULI has done around the country. I've been involved on my product council and been an officer there and helped put together that activity as well. Lots of things. I've been a member a long time and I've had lots of wonderful opportunities. It's a great program where we recognize not the best architecture, not the most profitable projects, but we talk about real estate projects that have a story beyond themselves, where it's not just the real estate project, it's the impact of the project on the community. And we get submissions from all over the Americas, North America and South America. We pick winners of all scales, different uses. There's no category per se. We just get to see the best projects that is being done by the industry and pick winners. And then because I chaired that for a couple of years, I got to be on the Global Awards Committee, so we got to see projects from all over the world and see what's going on in Asia and Europe as well as in the Americas. And for the Americas, we had to visit the projects. So I got to visit the projects, meet the developers, get the story, really understand the nuts and bolts of what it took, and then the tough job of evaluating which ones best met our criteria. Personally, it was just a tremendous opportunity. And the program is a very high visibility program, very respected for ULI. It helps the brand of ULI as well. I was just thrilled. I was on a trip to Tokyo and went to see one of the companies that had won an award, and the ULI award was proudly hung in their lobby. It was Mitsubishi, which is a gigantic global corporation, and they thought very highly of that ULI award, put it in their lobby. So it means a lot to me. The initiatives that are important to Denver have a lot to do with growth issues and how to do responsible growth, how to shape our growth. How to make this, it's trite in some ways, how to make the region sustainable and competitive going forward. More and more it becomes clear that we're in a global economy. Even cities that traditionally have not been thought of as global cities, as small as 3 million, like Denver region is, are global. And our connections and our work is, and the quality of life needs to be of global quality. Our industry needs to be global quality, and the land use needs to be cutting edge. So For us in Denver, we've been fortunate to always have a history of growth, and we have good prospects going forward, but we've been pretty miserable on our land use. We've sprawled a lot. It hasn't been sustainable. Now building our transit system, a multimodal transportation system, which becomes the backbone of our infrastructure, very important. Managing our water, very important. Pulling the region together as a region rather than competing jurisdictions, very important. Being on the cutting edge of sustainability with NREL and all the national and federal operations we have here, taking advantage of that and setting new models for land use and sustainability, not only in the buildings, but in the relationship between the buildings and the land. All important, very important initiatives. The last one I would mention, you can't not mention, is having a variety of housing choices at a variety of housing price points for the community, which gets more and more difficult as the region grows. I love talking to people about membership in ULI. It seems like a pretty easy sale to me. The thing that makes ULI different from all the other good real estate organizations out there is that our focus really is on building and changing and helping our communities rather than just serving our members. What we find is when we bring people together to work on common problems and leave a legacy in the community, they get to know each other, they do networking, they accomplish their personal goals, but they feel much more strongly about it because of the common work. Working together is the best way to get to know people and to build mutual respect. And so we offer people an opportunity to do that. Yes, we give you professional information. Yes, we let you meet new people. But the real mission of the organization is to provide responsible leadership. And that is a very compelling mission. One of the terrific aspects of ULI is that we are global, national, and local. And when you join and become a member, you are automatically a member at all those levels. And ULI works very hard, it's very successful at the interplay of information between all of those levels. So sharing global best practices or local best practices is really an important value. So though you can work at the local level and work in your local community, which is most important for some people, you can get involved at a national scale or at a global scale. And it's really fun to meet people that are working at all those scales, or do them all at once. You can be involved at all those levels, which is, additional learning, additional contribution, additional networking and marketing, if that's what you're looking for as well. One of the programs that we use to accomplish that is called the Community Action Grant. And it's like a venture capital fund that we use to help create new ideas that will be replicable among different communities and different district councils or chapters, if you will. So if you have a good idea for how you can be building your community, you submit the application, and each year and you're usually in the $15,000 to $20,000 range. That's great seed capital. You can really make a difference and have some really exciting new programs. And if they seem to be fitting the mission of ULI and replicable and something that would help the organization as a whole, then we fund you and usually allocate $200,000 to $250,000 a year that goes back into the local communities. So it's a way that the national organization, with its purview and its perspective, feeds back to the local communities, and similarly, the people that are boots on the ground, policy is where the rubber meets the road. The local people that are really inventing the programs are sending that information nationally, and then the linkages, of course, horizontally to all our other district councils. There's some 50 district councils around